Jesus Christ, you people suck.
Wow.
Wolverine on it.
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady. But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
Alright, it's time for another week. N4G Radio. This is episode 710 for August 15th.
That's a lot of mediocrity.
Dude,
Hey, be fair.
Some of them
of
are
it's
really
just
bad.
bad.
Yeah. I knew where that was going.
for August 15th, 2022. And on the show this week, we got the Worm Bird.
Yes, sir.
We got Anthony.
Yep.
And we got video games. Maybe I didn't play anything new, so f- my life. But hopefully these guys
I don't
played
ever
something.
play anything new.
That's true. I mean, it's new to you.
That's true.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, and everything on the Switch.
I literally did not. Like, I spent a bunch of time on my 360 because I totally
Look,
forgot MVC2 was on the 360, so I went and found
Oh, yeah,
it.
that fight last week.
I wasn't even fighting. Like, I didn't even argue. You guys just got mad.
You did kind of insist we were wrong.
I swore it didn't come out. And it, like, y'all like, yes, it did, motherfucker. I was like, well, I believe you if you do. Well, it did, motherfucker. I was like, oh, cool, okay. I'm sorry.
It went nothing like that.
Play that tape back.
You insisted pretty hard that it would, no, it didn't happen. It's like, yes, it did. And
Even
maybe on the
after-
original Xbox, like, no, it,
I don't remember these things. But anyway, we'll start with you,
obviously.
Anthony.
Yeah, so I couldn't talk about it last week. Cult of the Lamb. That's been stealing most of my free time. I don't have my review written because of a specific part of this game. And the easy part of the game to talk about is like, hey, it's a roguelite sort of thing where, yeah, I guess that's kind of a key aspect of this, but that's not the main focus at all. That is just the means to an end. The roguelite stuff is you going in as the lamb character and fighting enemies and, randomized floors, but for the most part it's like you enter a room, you kill a bunch of enemies, you collect resources, and then you move on to the next room. And then there's a couple of like side rooms, and you kind of pick your path all the way to the boss. And you have to do each level at least 4 times before you can reach the final boss, and then move on to the next area. There's 4 areas in total, and that's the basic gameplay portion that you're playing as the lamb. You have to do these. That's kind of where the story lies. However, the reason you go in there is because you have to recruit new followers to your cult. Because ultimately what this game is a big cult simulator.
What'd you name your cult?
I just left it as Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, well, that's not very original.
I don't change people's names when I recruit them to the cult. I don't change their appearance, because that's another thing you can do. You can, choose the appearance of the recruits. But, I'm like, well, if I'm recruiting this deer character, why would he suddenly change to... So you could ultimately have a cult of just hedgehogs or elephants or whatever you want.
Oh, motherfucker, you could make the cult of Sonic.
Yeah, I think even Devolver joked about that
Oh, shit.
at one point.
Chili dogs.
And you can rename all the characters, but I'm like, I don't care enough. But what's interesting is you have like an area, and all your followers need beds. All your followers need to be fed, and like some things they'll do for themselves if you give them direction. Like, they'll worship at the shrine. They'll cut down stuff. Like they'll cut down trees or whatever. But you ultimately have to like figure out where you want people to go and work. You always want people praying because that's a level up system for your base. You have to hold sermons. That's a level up system for the combat section. But like followers get old and they die, and what do you do with the body after? It's like, well, if you're running a really fucked up cult, you could eat them.
Okay.
Like, that's the thing that surprises me the most, is like nothing, like the roguelite stuff, I mean, it's not like Binding of Isaac necessarily, where like the way through really changes depending on the items you get. You always get a melee weapon, and you always get like a ranged like power that you have to like kill enough enemies to recharge. And they'll do different things, and there's different types of weapons. Some give you experience to level up the base of the cult. Others like are vampiric, so they steal health. Some poison, but like that's the melee weapons. All the ranged attacks have different sort of effects too. It's the when you hold sermons, you can really choose which way you want your cult to go. Are you ruling out of fear? Are you ruling out of... And there's not a morality system. That's the other thing. It's not asking you to be good. It's like, could you live with constantly sacrificing cult members to keep the cult's spirits up? And some cultists may have issues with that, so their worship level will go down. And it's this micromanagement on every level. Like, I kind of broke the game by getting this trait that allows my cultists to eat meals made out of grass without having any negative side effects, because that's a big thing. It's easy to cook meals out of grass, but when they eat it, it'll fill their hunger, but it will bring down the worship level.
So you're basically feeding all your people Impossible Whoppers.
Far less appealing than that.
Bitch.
Which is still saying a lot, because it's an Impossible Whopper, and we've already determined that Burger King's the fucking worst. You can go and catch fish and stuff. There's like a very basic fishing mini game. There's little missions that you do for your cultists to increase their worship level. And it's just, there's so much. So like, I have a farm. The farm needs a farmhouse, and then a seed holder, and then like manure. But how do you get the manure? Well, your cultists have to poop. So you collect their poop and use it as manure. But the cultists won't automatically do that. And if you want them to actually like collect the stuff once it's fully grown, you have to upgrade your farmhouse. So they'll actually collect everything once it's fully grown. Like I said, when villagers die, you have to bury them. Or other characters might become sick. And the reason why they have you go into a dungeon is because this stuff is still happening when you're not at the cult. Time is still flowing. And you'll be in the middle of a dungeon, and it'll come up that somebody has died of old age. So the first thing you do when you get back to the cult is wrap that body up and dump it into a hole.
Alright.
And, like, it's a lot of stuff like that. Like, houses will collapse. So at first, you have, like, just a sleeping bag, and those are, like, super breakable. And then there's houses that are, like, cheap lean-tos. But then you can upgrade, and it takes the most amount of resources. But you have to build each step. And when you get to the last one, not only does it not break ever, you can also collect, like, devotion points or whatever it's called. from the houses, and you can do that from graves that you've held rituals to honor the departed, and like it's so much that it's like I'm not worried about the story at this point. I'm worried about all the aspects of the cult that I can engage with for my review, because like I'm still looking to build certain buildings. Like I have not sent anyone out on a as a missionary. Like that's an option that you can have, but you know, some people won't make it back. So I want to upgrade that building so I can send 2 to increase the chances of them not dying. There's a lot to this game. I am kind of shocked at how much I'm more interested in the cult simulation aspect, than I am the combat, which is good too. Like I'm not upset about the quality of the roguelite, I guess. But like, holy shit. The amount of content that's just in this could have just been a cult simulator. And I think it would have nailed it. But they've added in this other aspect, so you are purposely away from base, so bad things can happen. And like, you have to make the choice of like leaving all your supplies behind to go back to the cult, or continuing onward and letting the cult just kind of deal with what's going on until you get back. But I am kind of shocked how much I like this game, because I wasn't originally like, I didn't ask for it. It was just kind of like, hey, can someone review this? And I went, yeah, sure. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Well, the internet seems to be in love with this game. I have it. I have not booted it up. The rogue thing makes me nervous.
I'm telling you right now, Ken, it is such a not... Like, there's not much to it. The rogue aspect, like I said, it's literally just to have randomized battle rooms. You fight in, I don't know what enemy I'm gonna fight, but it's gonna be one of these enemies from this level. You know, like there's only so many enemies you can fight in this section. So,
well, I'll boot it up at some point.
Honestly, like, if you don't like management sims, that's where you should be more concerned.
It depends. Management sims really depends on, like, how it's executed. Like, I can dig some, but there are some I definitely just cannot get down with.
This is very hands-on with everybody.
Yeah, I think it's interesting enough that it might be able to be something that I would enjoy.
Other than that, honestly, I was playing a bit of, Void Bastards on my Switch.
Oh, yeah, how's
I really
it
like that
run
game.
on the Switch?
Fine. It's fine. I mean, it wasn't like it was a graphically intense game.
But I remember the Xbox version when it first came out had some drawbacks. So it's good that they got that cleared up and then runs good on Switch.
I think it runs just as good as the Xbox version. It's a little weird because I feel like I have to adjust the controls. Like, I feel like it's maybe a little too stiff. But I don't know. That was the only thing. I was like, also playing on this small screen is near impossible. Like, that's the only thing where I was like, there's just some stuff that doesn't look as good. Like, cause there's a lot of detail in those drawings. But, I'm enjoying it, so.
Oh, that's good.
That's it for me.
Alright. If I move on to the Womber.
Alright. Yeah, I really haven't played a whole lot. I played, I'll say a little bit more Cyberpunk, but not much. Just probably, I don't know, maybe a half hour since the last time we talked. So not really much more to talk about versus what I talked about last week. I played a considerable amount more Dragon Quest IV. I am at the final boss, but as is customary, I'm in the grind circle for the final boss, because I'm probably 2 or 3 levels under-leveled to fight the boss. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about the boss from Dragon Quest IV, but it's basically just an endurance test. The boss has 7 phases, and each phase has somewhere between 1,600 and 2,000 HP. So it's just a really, really, really long battle, and which is even longer if you're under-leveled. So
Sounds
they do,
like that final Kefka battle from 6.
yeah, it's probably close to that.
Obviously, this, I think, predates it, mind you. But...
Yeah, but it's the thing that's nice is, just in case people don't know, in Dragon Quest IV, you end up with somewhere around 8 companions, and normally you can only have 4 people in your party at a time, but you get a special item that you can use before the final boss that will allow you basically access to all of your people. And so it's really, from my understanding, just about, good health management and knowing what spells to use when and what items to use when and having the right equipment. So, right now, like I said, I'm just trying to build my levels up a little bit, and I'm at 32 right now on my main character. I think I'll probably try to get to 34 and then give it a shot. And if I get wiped, then I'll go back and try it. I'll level up a little bit more and go back and try it again. But, yeah, I like that game a lot. It plays obviously super well, but it's also, it's pretty intuitive. You don't have to, it's not one of those RPGs where you have to follow a guide all the time to know what to do. The first 3 Dragon Warrior games, or Dragon Quest games, depending on how you want to look at it, especially on NES, were a little more obtuse. You basically had to talk to a whole bunch of people in town and remember what they said to know what to do next. And this one's got that a little bit. Obviously, there's no, quest journal or anything, so you have to remember what people are saying, but it's a little bit more intuitive than some of the other ones were. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and once I finish that, it'll be on to 5. And then I'm trying to think if I played anything else this week. I don't think so. I think that's really it. Yeah, nothing else for me.
I'm so glad we got everybody on the show this week that's playing video games.
Right, I know. All the people that actually play stuff don't show up.
Because I'm not any better. I spent...
Now, hold on a second.
Wait.
That's only pointed towards one person, because Drew plays fucking Paw Patrol.
That's true.
That's right, Drew. When you're not here, I'm still going to bring it up.
Fucking
He'll
Paw
listen,
Patrol.
I'm sure.
He might.
There's a new one coming out, Ken, and if he doesn't listen to this, if he listens to this, fine, whatever, he's heard it. But if he's not listening to this, I want you to just send him a code and be like, I need a review of this, and it's just a new Paw Patrol game, but don't tell him. Ugh. Irritates the shit out of me. I know it shouldn't, because it's not my fucking time that's being wasted, but it's just but I'm saving so much money. Are you, though?
Oh, lordy. Some anger over there over Paw Patrol. He told me the dude's name, and I don't even remember what it was. Oh, but yeah, I didn't play anything new and exciting. I spent a lot of time this week. So I saw that you could put, them old games on the Xbox now without doing the dev mode thing. So I was like, I'm gonna try it to see what happens. That is not a great way to do that. I realize, I don't know if you use playlists, Ryan, with your RetroArch. But as soon as I created a playlist that it didn't recognize, it would just crash. And I don't know why. So, and the stuff that I did get running, it was fine, but it ran just as well on my PC. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick over there. I've got a lot more ways to customize it over there. It's just works better over there. So, No, I messed around with it, and then I went through a bunch of TurboGrafx games. Nothing really stuck out. I did play a game called Strip Fighter, and I couldn't figure out why it was called Strip Fighter. They had all their clothes on. I just thought it was funny. And then I dug up some old PS2 games and was messing around with those. I booted up Defiance and Soul Reaver 2 because I just needed to... Fucking Christ, the intro to Soul Reaver 2 is like 7 minutes long. And you can't skip it. I forgot the intro was that long. And then, like I said, I went back to the 360 and played a bunch of stuff on there. I found my Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which, like we talked about last week, is such a shitty system to dig out these old games. I think it took me 30 minutes to scroll through that list to get to that game to find it. Because I don't know when the last time you got on your 360, but as you're going through that list, if your internet connection messes up, it just resets and kicks you out and you have to start over. And it sucks. I played that. I played some Outrun online, the arcade one. Played some Street Fighter 3, Marvel Capcom Origins, and I played in 100% of the first level of that Family Guy Back to the Multiverse game. I was just checking shit out.
I'm sorry. That Back to the Multiverse game is bad.
I loved it, but that's because I love Family Guy.
Oh, if you like Family Guy, it's more Family Guy humor. The game is still bad. It's not the Simpsons game, right? Where the Simpsons game is like, this plays well, and it's the Simpsons.
I played that Simpsons game about a month ago, and it doesn't play as good as you remember. It definitely has some of that.
I know, but I'm not saying it's perfect by any shot. No, it always had issues. It's just I thought that game was a better game.
It is a little better. It is. The problem with those old 360 games is they hadn't mastered that like right stick control, like camera control yet. So a lot of it felt stiff. Yes, the Family Guy game is worse than the Simpsons game, but that Simpsons game is still rough. Like that first level where you got to go through the chocolate fountains.
I was thinking more of the one where you're Bart and you're Bart and Homer.
Yeah, that's the Simpsons game.
Oh, yeah, but that's the one that's the roughest level to me.
Sure.
It's like timed, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. We played that game a few weeks ago, and I mean it's still okay. The nice thing about my 360 is I run it through as I do with my RetroArch, my Switch, the 360, and the PS3. I all run through the M Classic. So it cleans up a lot of those old games relatively well. So they actually look pretty decent. Speaking of the Switch, my son and I played through. It's become like a tradition. Like every time the new courses drop, we blast through those Mario Kart tracks, the new ones. And we played through those 8 new tracks, and man, I can't believe how much content is in that freaking game. That game is so good. And then I washed a bunch of shit in Power Wash Simulator. I would tell you about the indie games this week, but there really weren't that many. And one of them I swear I played before, but I don't...
Which one was it?
It's... How do you pronounce it? YNGLET. It's the one where it's like flow, but you're jumping between... like blocks? I don't know. I feel like I played that game before. That was really about it. Like I said, I got Call to the Lamb, but I haven't played it yet. So I don't know if I like it or not. And then I spent way too much time playing Overwatch because I still fucking...
Is Call to the Lamb, you have it on Xbox?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. That I'm playing with an Xbox controller on PC. Because they literally tell you, like, you should play this with a controller.
I mean, I would figure you would probably want to play with a controller.
Yeah, I just thought I should bring that up because it's clearly built around controller play.
Oh, I also booted up The Suffering. That game.
Never played those games.
That game is pretty good. It is. Boy, you want to talk about?
What is it?
It's an
Is
action
it a horror game?
It's an action horror game. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I may have it on my modded PS3.
Should be PS2. PS2 and Xbox.
Yeah, I know. My PS3
Oh,
has a hard drive filled with
backwards compatible.
Yeah,
game.
and it's got a PS2. It's got a bunch of PS2 and PS1 ISOs on the terabyte hard drive.
I got you. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense now.
Although I think the Suffering might have a PC version. Give me a sec.
It's possible. I know it didn't have a GameCube version because I looked at that first because GameCube does better in the realm of emulation.
Huh. I might have to pick that up on GOG. I'll probably play better than a PS2 version.
Does it have controller support?
Let's find out. Doesn't say. That's not very helpful.
Yeah, I've got the entire Kane collection on Steam, and like most of it doesn't truly support controllers, so it's almost unplayable. And it's very frustrating. Same with the Mortal Kombat collection. I bought that on GOG, and like the first 3 games don't have solid controller support, and I'm like, why would I even bother?
I'm saying this from a perspective of someone that's played the more obscure title. I know that sounds weird. This kind of reminds me of a mix of Shadow Man, because I love Shadow Man, and the game Ghost Hunter on PS2.
I remember that game. That was that a Konami game?
No, I believe it was a Namco game, and it's weird because it's actually a first-party Sony title everywhere else, and they were just like, North America?
I got this. I get this one mixed up with Lifeline for some weird reason. I don't remember why.
Yeah, Europe. Oh, wow, what a weird... Oh, my God. In Europe, it was published by Sony Computer Entertainment because it was made by... Well, now Guerrilla basically made this game. In North America, it's published by Namco, and in Japan, it's published by Electronic Arts Victor.
I feel like I need to.
What a weird thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig this game out. I forgot this game existed. I need to dig it out now.
It's an okay game.
I mean, most of the shit I go back to is an okay game. Dude,
Except this game has increased in value like tenfold.
Because people like obscure shit, dude. I don't understand.
It's technically Sony first party, right? So it's like this really very weird... Let's see if it's still expensive. I think I bought this game for $15 at one point. Yeah, complete in box is $61.
I'm looking at it. The US version was Namco, so it was just the European version that was Sony Computer.
But it was made by Sony Computer Entertainment. That's what's weird about it, is that it's published by Namco in North America.
This game looks like, and I know it's nothing like it, but like, I don't know, the color scheme or something reminds me of Kill.Switch. Remember that game? The first like the Gears of War military cover-based game.
Give me a second, because I've never played that game, but I remember.
Say the name of it one more time, Ken.
Kill.Switch.
Oh yeah.
It was also a Namco game. Yeah.
What a weird.
But you see what I'm saying? Like the color scheme is almost exactly like it.
Lots of dirty colors.
You know what game I was thinking about digging out? To test was Extermination. Do you remember that game? That game was like...
No, I don't.
Extermination for the PS2. It's made by somebody... It's a first-party Sony game, but it's made by somebody... Who was the developer?
What the fuck am I looking at? Deep Space is the developer. Yuzo Sugano was the director, and Tokuro Fujiwara was the producer.
This game. I remember this game. Oh, fuck.
Terminated.
Cold Fear? I'm going back to the PS2 third person.
I have 2 copies of Cold Fear. And the reason why is I had it on PS2, and then I was like, where did my PS2 copy go to? And this happened with a couple PS2 games. And So I rebought them all thinking like I'd sold them or lost them or something. And then I found them recently.
So if you Google Extermination on the PS2 and it gives you the related to, it's The Suffering, Cold Fear, Rule of Rose, Clock Tower 3, Haunting Ground, you remember the dog game,
Yep.
Siren, and Ghost Hunter. That's funny.
Haunting Ground, which is actually a Clock Tower game.
Oh my god. I remember the goofy outfits of these Japanese horror games. Oh my god.
My favorite is when you would finish I think it's Rule of Rose. If you finish it a specific way, you can play as an octopus. Sure.
People Rule of Rose is that game that's super expensive.
That's what happens when it gets published late into the console's lifetime with a small run, right?
Dude,
I think this game's worth $1,000 now.
Yeah, $1,300 on eBay.
Oh my god.
So, interesting story, and Ryan will appreciate this. I've got one of them silver jobs of Rule of Rose.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet that's worth some cash.
It may be. Atlas literally was the only company that sent us all the silver jobs. But yeah, I was digging through games to rip the other day to test, and I was like, what is this silver job? Because I got 4 or 5 silver jobs. I was like, what's this? I was like, Rule of Rose. Holy shit, people would go nuts if they
especially if it's a potentially different version.
Let's see. Can you actually look that up?
I have the PSP equivalent of a silver job for at least one of the Prinny games, maybe both of them.
I love the Prinny games.
It just came in the kind of generic white CD sleeve that you might get some freeware
the little
or something
cardboard
in.
one.
Yeah. And it just says Prinny, I want to be the hero on the front of it with a white sticker.
Oh, that's the first one. I love that.
Really
game.
be the hero, maybe is what it's called, something like that.
Dude. Yeah.
I wonder.
I love that game.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
and
even
I thought I
find
had the second one too, but I can't remember if I have the second one or not.
I can't even find anything about that silver disc on if I Google it. Boy, that thing must be rare. I don't know. It's sitting in a binder in my closet. So
Those Prinny games, there's 2 of them. They're on Switch. They're worth a play if you really want super difficult.
Yeah, they're very tough.
Platformers. I love them. I have the first game in the collector's edition box. That's how I got into Disgaea. I was like, I love this character. I want to play it. And then I was like, oh, it's from a different series. Okay, I'll look into that.
well, that's literally all I've played. I did download Rumbleverse and as I mentioned, Cult of the Lamb, but I have not played either one of those.
I'm sorry, what is Rumbleverse again? That's the
Battle Royale fighting game from Iron Galaxy.
Okay.
And I think that game is suffering because Multiverses kind of blew up and everybody's playing that because they're both free to play fighting games.
Yeah, that would do it.
So, but yeah, that's really all I played. I'm really struggling, and it's I've been in a rut for a while, but I think with Madden coming out this week and Saints Row coming out next week, that I should hopefully get back on track. Unfortunately,
When does Saints Row come out?
The 23rd, so it's a week after this one.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we've been informed we won't be reviewing Saints Row. Apparently, they're only sending out very limited copies, so it's actually unfortunate that I don't get to play it early, but fortunate because I can just fucking play it. I don't have to worry about it, So. But as I mentioned, let's talk about what's coming out this week. Madden, the EA's still doing that early access shit, so if you buy the stupid, ridiculous version, you get it on Tuesday. Otherwise, it's out on Friday for everybody else. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Tribes of Midgard finally coming to Xbox. You know, I was kind of upset when they first announced this game and it was only on PlayStation because it looked like a cool Diablo clone. Then they gave it away on PlayStation 5. I don't care. That game is not very good. Way of the Hunter, Little League World Series Baseball 2022, Cursed to Golf, Staycation Paradise, Thymesia, A Tale of Paper Refolded, and then of course Madden on Friday, PlayStation 5, pretty much the same stuff except we also are getting Rollerdrome, that's finally out. We Are OFK, and Lawn Mowing Simulator and Cloudpunk are getting PS5 versions. PS4 and Xbox One, mostly the same stuff, but we are getting Arcade Archives Metro Cross, My Hero Ultra Rumble Closed Beta, RPG Time, The Legend of Right, and then I'll check Xbox One, Dynabomb 2, and The Bonfire, Forsaken Lands, and Tile Sweeper. And those are your PS4 and Xbox One games. Alright, Nintendo Switch. 37,000. Trash games. Alright, Cartoon Racing, single player, multiplayer racing. What the fuck? That's the name of the game. Cartoon Racing, single player, multiplayer racing. A sequel to one of the most underrated and underappreciated Zelda clones, Blossom Tales 2, The Minotaur Prince, is out this week. Zorro, The Chronicles, Hell Blasters, Kirby's Dream Buffet, making its way out this week, Robo Revenge Squad, Arcade Archives Metrocross Chameleon? I don't know how you say that. It's like chameleon, but with an N instead of an L. Hobo, Tough Life. Home Deco Puzzles. Irresistible Mistakes. Japanese Escape Games, The Fortress Prison. Light Fairy Tale Episode 2. Muttropolis. My Divorce Story. God, that's fucking grim. Pretty Girls 4 King Solitaire. There you go. RPG Time, The Legend of Right. Secrets of Magic 5 Back to School. Slaycation Paradise. The Room 2. Treehouse Riddle. Zumba Garden. I mean, how does anybody find any games on this system? There's so many. Arena of Tanks. Layerland Story. Project Night 2 Dusk of Souls. Strike Buster Prototype. And finally, Sweet Bakery Tycoon. Alright, nobody said anything during any of that, so I'm assuming everybody's asleep.
I don't care.
Say what? What? Sorry, what?
Alright, motherfuckers, I'll move on to the news. I mean, it was in new releases, but Nintendo announced the release date for Kirby's Buffet. It launches this week. So we'll catch up on the EVO news that we had not seen yet. Capcom announced Jury and Kimberly for Street Fighter 6 and showed off some gameplay. The internet got crazy over Jury's feet because the internet be internet. Bridget is coming to Guilty Gear Strive. That was the new announced character there. Fatal Fury is returning, the Garou series, which is exciting because it's been a minute since we've had a new Fatal Fury Garou game. Tekken teased something. There was a trailer that showed like the original Tekken 1, and then it updated to like whatever it is. It could be Tekken 8, Tekken Tag 3. I don't know, but it's new Tekken. Guilty Gear Strive has reached 1 million players. So, it's the first time an ArcSys game has hit 1 million copies. Imagine how many more it would have hit had it been on more than one system.
Yeah. No. I'm happy it's doing well.
Yeah, I just wish they'd bring it to Xbox. That'd be cool. All right, you ready for the delays? We got delays. Metal Slug Tactics.
God of War. Oh, I'm sorry. Sneezed.
Metal Slug Tactics has been delayed to 2023. Midnight Suns has been delayed. They said fiscal 2022, but I think that's going to be like in 2023, like the last. I don't know. Who knows? That game's been delayed twice now, and I think it's because people are playing it and not liking what they see.
Midnight Suns?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know what people were expecting from Firaxis, but it wasn't going to be as exciting as you would want your superheroes to be. I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
It's a very niche audience that's going to be interested in both superheroes and turn-based strategy.
Yeah. Another delay, Arc Raiders. If you remember that game, that's been delayed to 2023. It hasn't come out yet, but man, I was having a conversation. Corey Balog tweeted some cryptic shit, and
I'm like basically saying, prepare for this.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if God of War is going to be delayed, even though I got in an argument on Twitter the other day with somebody saying it was not 100% being delayed. Like,
And just admit it, you kind of want it to be delayed.
Oh, I love being right. You know that.
Yeah.
Also, Hogwarts Legacy has been delayed into 2023.
We're removing all references to J.K. Rowling in her work.
I don't think there's any references to her in there, right?
No, I know. I'm just fucking around.
I think that's all the delays I got. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. Here's a news story for Anthony that I know made your pants shorter. They found some new cheat codes for Super Punch-Out.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you know what?
cool.
You know why I was happy with that? Because of what it was.
Yeah, multiplayer mode.
No, yeah, like who gives a shit if like old codes, new like codes that are found in video games always take a while, anyways. But how simplistic this was, I guess, is kind of surprising, and the fact that no one has talked about it ever is what kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always weird to find, like, there was some game I remember recently, and maybe I'm crazy, but like, wasn't there a game recently where the developer literally came out and said not everything has been found in this game, and the game's like been 30 years old? Am I just imagining that?
I mean, Ed Boon
Like
constantly talks
a couple times.
Yeah.
Ed Boon constantly talks about stuff not being found in the original Mortal Kombat. So it's like, you know,
But how has it not been
Yoga-
decompiled to be found at this point?
because from my understanding, like you still have to know what you're looking for to some extent. Like that's the reason why that very well done hoax of the door in near Automata.
Oh
Was
yeah, I
able
saw
to
that.
be pulled, but that was the reason why it was able to be pulled off so well. You have to know what you're looking for, and if it was a so like you're looking at code, and you're looking at maybe objects or whatever, but you still have to have some idea of what you're looking for in order to find it. So that's the reason why I was like, I'm just surprised no one's ever plugged in a second controller. That's where it kind of blows my mind. It's not some like impossibly long code that you have to put into your controller in a specific amount of time. No, it's just like, yeah, do you have another controller plugged in? Just hold these buttons down. Think, okay. But yeah, like that stuff happens all the time because of that. It's like you don't know what you're looking for, so that's how it gets by people.
It's crazy. I don't know. It's always cool to see things unearthed from years ago. Like I saw, what was it? Did You Know Gaming did a video recently on like an undiscovered DS game or something. Like all that stuff's super cool. I like it when new stuff is found. All right.
I do too.
A white Elite version 2 controller for Xbox, image of it leaked onto the internet this week, and it makes me wonder, like, why a version 2? Why not a version 3? Also, I don't want it if that shit's gonna break like the other ones. Those Elite controllers, man, for being $200 controllers, I've had so many problems with those controllers. They're
Mine
so...
still's working fine, but I have a Model 1, so I don't know if it got worse over time.
I had 2 Model 1s. I had the
Wow.
original black, and I had the white one. And the white one I still have, and you know the rubber grips on them? Like, they're literally just falling off. Like, it's just embarrassing. My Elite V2, the A button sticks, which is super frustrating, and that's after I've had it replaced.
I would say, and you don't eat using...
No.
Like you don't eat when you play games. So I just wanted to make sure that was a thing that was clear to people. Like that is not a user error.
No. Even still, if I pay $200 for a controller, I better be able to do whatever the fuck I want. And that thing should be... Like, that's the number one thing I think should be with a controller of that caliber, is like it should be durable. And I have just found those Elite controllers not to be very durable. Overwatch news. So the final event...
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Mentally checking out. Okay, cool.
So the final event is happening currently. It ends on August 30th. The big news out of this is that on August 30th, they are removing the ability to purchase loot boxes. Which makes sense because there won't be loot boxes in Overwatch 2. Which, holy shit, is less than 2 months away. Microsoft has said this is a glitch that they have fixed, but over the week, a bunch of games started showing up on cloud streaming that are not on Game Pass. These included titles like Elden Ring. What was another one that I saw? I can't remember. But basically, you would be able to stream these games online even without them being on Game Pass, which Microsoft has said that the games you own should be able to be streamed probably by the end of the year, so maybe that's a Gamescom announcement they weren't ready to talk about yet. I don't know. Speaking of Microsoft and Xbox, Microsoft called out Sony this week, because if you remember the conversation we had last week about Sony complaining about Call of Duty and becoming a platform preference for Xbox because it's on Game Pass, blah, 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 they can't make a game. Microsoft basically called them out and said, well, you know, y'all have been making contracts for years keeping your, games off of Game Pass because you don't want people to associate the game with Xbox. The most famous one I remember was Resident Evil Village. The marketing contract for Sony was that the game could not show up on Game Pass. So, it's always fun to watch the lawyers fight back and forth.
Well, It's always funny I think somebody was trying to bring up the Tomb Raider thing that kind of failed, but the first Tomb Raider game, before it got its high definition remake, it was pushed primarily on Sony consoles.
Yeah.
Sony did it to Sega back when Tomb Raider came out. Sony has a history of doing this shit, and they're like, now that it's working against them, now that other people have learned, they're like, that's not fair.
That's what's funny about it.
You did it!
How is Sony complaining about this when I just mentioned Tribes of Midgard? There was also, what was that shitty game you played at launch, Ryan? What was the name of that game?
The other Gearbox one.
Yeah.
Godfall.
Godfall. Where's that Xbox version of Final Fantasy VII Remake? You really think that Sony doesn't know what Microsoft is doing? That's the point of what Microsoft is doing. They want Call of Duty associated with Xbox. Why? So all the casual people who play Call of Duty will go to Xbox.
Also, the idea, the fucking nerve to be like, but we can't compete with that. Yeah, okay. And so, what fucking statement is that? Like, the nerve of you to be like, we can't compete. Okay. Microsoft can't compete with your God of War. Like, fucking statement. You know, like I don't.
No, none of y'all can compete with Mario Kart 8, motherfuckers.
Well, that too, but like, all right, you have Final Fantasy in your pocket now, apparently.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is exclusive to PlayStation.
So, like, fucking, we know from past history that Microsoft definitely can't compete with that. So, like, again, like, I'm sorry, like, nothing's more pathetic than companies crying.
No, I think it's hilarious.
And to be clear, if Microsoft was saying this about Sony, I'd feel the same way.
Oh, 100%.
It's shitty on a level of, like, people can't play these games because they're not everywhere.
Yeah, I'm all for all games everywhere. I feel like that's how, except for Stadia. Yeah. Nobody should play on Stadia. Sorry. Alright, here's one that warmed my heart. I know it's probably not going to be anything I'm excited for, but I hope it is. Sunsoft is returning with a digital event next week.
Oh, Fester's Quest 2.
Oh, fucking give me Batman or give me death.
I mean, they've been around since the new Blaster Masters started coming out, so
yeah, those were made by Inti Creates, but could you imagine?
But they are Sunsoft. Like, Sunsoft's name is on those.
Sure, but like, imagine. So the thing that got me, and I know
all the people. I'm sorry.
I'm getting excited when I shouldn't, but the PR that I got for this literally linked me to all of their classic games and said, "Remember these."
Oh, this is gonna be a major one.
I know, right? I know, and it makes me sad.
You never pull out the Remember These. Oh no. No. What are they gonna be on Antstream or whatever? Oh my god.
Imagine
all
if
the
we
old
got
Sunsoft games. We have the licenses too still. Woo!
Imagine if we got like Arcade Archives re-releases of all of those games.
Man, the licensing there though is going to be just an absolute mess.
Oh,
I can't imagine.
It's a nightmare.
Sunman finally coming out officially.
I mean, they could do Arrow the Acrobat, right? That was theirs.
No. I don't think they have. I think they published it on certain consoles, but I don't think that's theirs. That's pretty sure it's Iguana that made it.
Well, Iguana don't give a shit.
Iguana doesn't exist anymore.
I was going to say, does Iguana even exist anymore?
Nah, they don't give a shit.
But who published it on? Yeah, like the last game that came out, I believe, in that series was the Game Boy Advance version, which was made by Atomic Planet and published by Zoo Digital. So,
what about the sequel, Kamikaze Squirrel?
Well, the sequel's technically Arrow. The sequel's technically Arrow the Acrobat 2.
Well, I mean, like the follow-up to Arrow the Acrobat.
I understood that.
Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. Which I don't think you could get away with calling a game Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel nowadays. It's a little rough.
It sounds like the ownership is by the original producer.
Man, what if they got all that shit back? What if we get to play these games? I'm excited for it. I love the timeline that we live in where some of the weirdest, most obscure shit can come back. Like, we're only...
No, you don't like it. No, you don't fucking like it.
Yes, I do.
Because every time you see Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, you throw a fucking fit. Don't give me the shit that you're like, I'm super excited for this world, and then be like, why is everything coming back except this? That's exactly what you do every time something comes out.
That's only because I'm mad.
You'll forget in a couple months of being like, excited about Sunsoft stuff. They will release Arrow the Acrobat, and you think, why is Arrow the Acrobat back? That game sucks.
I like Arrow the Acrobat.
Get the fuck out of here again.
I like that game. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger is a bad video game.
Get the fuck out of here.
It is.
KO the kangaroo. We're gonna fuck it.
Dude, that
every
KO
time.
remake is pretty good.
Oh,
I ain't gonna
no,
lie.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
I don't like it at all.
You
It's
just don't like
bad.
the voice acting.
No, that game's not great either.
I like that game.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's got a game-breaking bug where it's like you can't finish the game.
Listen, the way I look at it, there are plenty of game series that deserve to make a comeback before the ones you just mentioned.
Yeah, like Eternal Champions. That should have came back by now.
Man, Eternal Champion.
Thank you. I didn't have to say it. Yeah, you're right, Ryan.
We haven't gotten a new Legacy of Kain game since Defiance.
But
and yet we just got a remake of Cow the Kangaroo. KO the Kangaroo, whatever it's called.
Well, it's boxing gloves, so it'd be KO.
Yeah.
Correct. However, also, you can easily find out who has the license to KO the Kangaroo. You cannot do that with Legacy of Kain.
Yeah,
Who
you
the
can.
fuck owns that?
Embracer owns it now.
Do they own all of it?
Yeah, they bought it from Square Enix. Square Enix had it, which is why we didn't get anything.
Oh, well then, okay. I thought that was still... Oh no, it's the first game. That's what it was.
Yeah,
The
Blood
first game
Omen is still
is a fucking nightmare.
weird licensing, but if they wanted to do Raziel, they could totally do a collection. And I bet you Embracer does, but they just bought it, so...
Yeah, well...
It's gonna take a little while to get
Man,
that.
fuck Square Enix and their fucking purchase of IDOS. That sucked.
Yeah, it basically... I mean, it destroyed so many franchises.
They tried to get rid of Hitman, and IO was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, they ruined Deus Ex, they let it stay dormant too long. Don't forget Thief was in there.
Oh, Thief.
Yeah. Hopefully Embracer does some cool stuff with those IP, because we need it. Alright, I got 3 more stories. The first one is Quake 2 shows up in the Steam DB, a remake incoming for QuakeCon. That's coming soon. Remember, last QuakeCon we got Quake 1 remake. Maybe now we'll get Quake 2.
I really hope I get that for free as well on Steam.
Yeah, it'll be on Game Pass hopefully too. So, the THQ Nordic Showcase 2022. I knew I was a little over ambitious in hoping that they would do something with those new IP they got, but it's probably too early. What they did show, Alone in the Dark is being reimagined for Series X and PS5.
Hold on, I have to pull up the list because there was a lot of it there. So
yeah, I got a list here, but if I miss anything, just let me know. This Wombat announcement, a remake of Gothic 1.
That's been
that
announced.
Is a Wombat announcement.
That was previously announced.
It was, but they kind of went dark, and now they're bringing it back out.
Well, they released a beta for it, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and it was bad.
So, no, it's Gothic. What the fuck
it's Gothic.
did you expect?
I like Western RPGs, but it's hard for me to get excited about a remake of Gothic 1 when it's like there's been so many Western RPGs that are almost just like Gothic.
Can I just go through this? So can I just go through this list because you just seem to be jumping around?
Fine then, jackass.
Destroy. Because I can't stand the little da-da-da-da-da when I'm reading
Anthony's
something in front of
man,
me.
your hosting sucks. Can I just take over this,
Absolutely.
please?
All right. Destroy All Humans 2, Reprobed.
Oof.
Not the best subtitle, but hey.
Another Destroy All Humans 2 was good, Ryan. That's not Big Willie.
No, I know it's not, but it's... Again... all the series, Destroy All Humans was great for the time period it was released in.
Is that not
all the games to make a comeback? It's like, God, why
is that not one of the who made that originally? Was that the Mercenaries guys?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
yeah all their games.
See, they could have made another Mercenaries game, and instead they decided to remake Destroy All Humans 2.
That's an EA license, though.
Why
Mercenaries.
Don't call it Mercenaries.
That's
Just make another game like Mercenaries.
Boom, boom, explosion time. airstrikes to airstrikes.
Although, to be honest, Mercenaries is probably also another one of those games that was great
It's
for its time period and would feel a little weak today.
It is a rough game. It makes Just Cause 2 look timely. There's a new game called Space for Sale, which is a simulation game where you explore space and build houses and stuff. It's probably none of our type of thing. But it looks kind of neat. It's got a cute aesthetic. Jagged Alliance 3. I've never played a Jagged Alliance
I've never
game,
played Jagged Alliance, but I remember so vividly those games, and I've never played one.
Did they not release Jagged Alliance 2 more recently?
They put out a collection on the consoles recently.
Okay.
I feel like I can see Jagged Alliance in my head, but if you asked me to tell you what kind of game it was, I could not for my life explain or tell you what it was.
Isn't it like you remember Commandos?
I do.
It's like a
I believe it's
top-down,
that, yeah.
isometric, like kind of real time, but kind of
turn-based, sort of.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. It's like that.
Honestly, it's the covers that's always stood out to me.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is I feel like I could see like the box art in my head, but I have never played a Jagged Alliance game.
Neither have I.
I'm looking it up now, and I'm really surprised that I never played any of these because
the Jagged Alliance Rage was the last one. It was on consoles and PC.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm surprised I never played the first several, since they appear to have been DOS games from the time period when I was obsessed with old DOS games.
Yeah, this definitely looks like one of it has that, you know.
Looks a little bit like Syndicate, but more top down than isometric.
Yeah, like late 90s, early 2000s PC games, like Jagged Alliance would be the poster child for it. Go on, Anthony. You're the host.
Okay, well, you know what? I thought you were going on about Jagged Alliance still, so I tuned out. The Valiant, which is a PC real-time strategy game, it's apparently been announced previously. I've never heard of it before. It's Knights. It's real-time with knights and stuff.
Oh, I thought you meant like Nights into Dreams. I was like, what the fuck?
No. No, I would have said Nights into Dreams. I say the whole title.
Yeah, I mean, you like bad games. That's fine.
SEO. Well, that makes two of us, Ken. Tempest Rising. It's a base-building RTS coming in 2023. Knights of Honor 2 Sovereign strategy game. I've never heard of that series before.
I mean, these are some THQ Nordic-ass THQ Nordic games.
If you're going to ask me to pick between, like, hey, do you want to play the strategy game with Knights, or do you want to play the strategy game with aliens? Yeah, I'm going to choose Tempest Rising, because it at least looks pretty fucking good.
And I'm always going to choose Knights, given any choice.
Oh, really?
Pretty much. Yeah. Medieval shit's just my jam. That's... If you showed me literally the exact same game, side by side, and one of them was about space aliens and the other one was about knights and riding horses and killing shit with swords, I'm going to take the second one every single time.
I like the fact that we would not fight over what we're taking.
Yeah, we would not fight over what we're taking.
Speaking of science fiction, Outcast 2 got another trailer. I'm excited for that game.
I hope it's good.
One of very few.
Yeah. I hope it's good.
Okay, so sometimes their titles just awesome. Recreation.
So, okay, I've got a lot of feelings about this game.
I only have seen the title. I saw the title and I'm like, I'm kind of in. I don't want to know anymore. I'll wait till it's out.
My problem with this game is that everybody got excited when the old Criterion team went off to form a new company. Everything they've put out has felt like a dollar store burnout.
That is true.
It has not been good. So I'm curious, because this is a bigger project.
Well, this game looks like just quickly watching it so I can talk about it. This game looks like Trackmania, not...
Yeah, you can build in
Burnout.
this big open world, but it's still going to have the gameplay from those dollar store Burnout games, which was not
Right.
good.
What's the studio's name again?
Three Fields Entertainment.
That's not the same one I was thinking of. Yeah, that's not the same one I was thinking of at all. There was another game that was made, hold on, I believe it, give me a second. Oh no, it is Three Fields, but did they change their name at some point?
I don't think so. I think they've always been through, because
Oh
they did,
man, I must have,
they did the
Dangerous Golf.
Dangerous Golf,
Yeah.
and then 2 Dangerous Driving games.
why did I think Danger Zone? I literally thought their studio, oh man, I've been under a rock. I thought they had some different name. Maybe I'm confusing them with somebody else. Alright. Way of the Hunter. It's a hunting game.
It's out
Yeah.
this week. They were just showing a trailer.
Yeah, part of me is interested because I'm like, hey, a simulation hunting game sounds neat, but at the same time, it's a simulation hunting game, and I'm like, that's just part of Red Dead Redemption 2, you know?
Oh, I think
So-
Danger Zone was the name of one of their games, by the way.
Yes, but I realized after, like, no, that's all the games I was thinking of, so I don't know what other name they could have been. This one was for Ryan, AEW Wrestling Fight Forever, with the cringy trailer.
Yeah, a horribly cringy trailer that is also the same trailer that pre-leaked
Yeah,
a week and a half ago.
I think they just got leaked on that one.
Yeah. Yep, and that's basically the trailer that I used to describe the game when I talked about it last week. So, not a whole lot extra to add there, but you're right. The trailer was cringy as hell. I normally love Tony Schiavone and Britt Baker both, but the writing in that trailer was just miserable.
Stuntfest World Tour.
I don't even remember this. Of course, I was like doing my yard work while this was going on, so I was just going back and forth.
The site I'm looking for, saying it's like Riders Republic.
Oh, that game
except-
died real quick.
It is, but this has you ejecting from cars and then jumping into another, like building one around you as you land, and it looks kind of crazy. It's kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to see when people actually, get to play it. Because watching a trailer that's set up is not the same as when people are actually playing against each other. But it's multiplayer, so I don't know how much I'll actually play it. This one I'm excited for. SpongeBob SquarePants and the Cosmic Shake. Oh, give me more SpongeBob 3D platformer, thank you. And then the last one, which is kind of surprised and there's no video for it, is South Park.
That's because it happened at the end. So at the end, there was a stinger that said, we still have 26 unannounced games. Then they scratched it out and said 25, and then showed the South Park Studios logo. So they were basically just announcing that they're working with that team to build a new game.
Yeah, do you think it's going to be an RPG again, or?
I don't know. I mean, if it's not going to be made by Obsidian, because Obsidian's now under Microsoft, so...
But, I mean, the last game wasn't made by Obsidian either.
No, and it wasn't as good as the first one, let's be fair.
I found the combat in the first game easy to cheese, so...
I don't think that was the point of the game.
No, but, like, the second game, like, fighting Morgan Freeman over a fart was, pretty great.
Hey, I'm not saying that second game wasn't good. I'm just saying that first game, I think, was much better. I don't think it'll be another RPG. I think it'll be something different. Who knows? Maybe they'll make, like, a open world GTA game. Guess it
That
depends
won't be
on
terrible at all.
who the developer is that'll make it, you know?
Uh-huh.
Maybe Chef's Love Shack 2. I don't know.
Oh, Lord. South Park Racing 2.
Yeah, why not? Alright.
Anyways, I like that. Even though, like, not everything was for me, like, I'm glad that there's another Jagged Alliance. I know that seems weird, but it's just like, yeah, fuck it. If you got the money and people are buying it, do it.
I mean, that's kind of what we've been talking about this whole time, that Wombat and I get upset that we haven't Legacy of Kain, and I'm upset that we haven't had Eternal Champions. You know, bring everything back. Who the fuck cares?
And like that it's not a studio. That publisher has put out new stuff as well. And it's like, does everything work? No, not at all. But like, they're willing to try, and I appreciate that.
All right, last story. I'm about to get angry. Let's have this conversation. Sony's announced the new lineup for PlayStation PP.
I really put that out into the world, and every day it comes back to me, and I'm like, I really wish I hadn't said PlayStation PP.
All right, so the essential and premium, extra and premium games for the month.
Okay, quick question. Extra is the second tier, premium is the top tier?
The top tier, which includes classics and game trials, basically.
Oh, the naming convention.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Also, we don't need premium anymore because fuck your classic games. Anyway, this month's games: Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, Yakuza Kiwami 2, Dead by Daylight, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, Bug Snacks, Metro Exodus, Trials of Mana, Uno, Monopoly Madness, and Monopoly Plus. Yes, you heard me. No classic games again. I'm so frustrated with this shit. These are softballs.
This is exactly, can I just say, this was exactly what I expected to happen.
Same.
Like, I'm not even trying to be a dick and be like, oh yeah, I knew it was gonna happen all along. I'm like, no, that is, I was hoping I'd be wrong, but they've been so consistently shitty about this shit in the past that it's like, yeah, this is not unexpected.
Okay, not only is there no PS1 classics, there hasn't been a true PS2 game added. They haven't added any new PS3 streaming games.
Well, that requires work, Ken.
I mean, what are people paying for right now? Why are there 3 tiers?
Yeah, because, I don't know, man. I was like, yeah, they're gonna fuck this up, and so far they have. And it's disappointing that I'm right, because obviously...
I mean, not only have they fucked this up, I mean, this is a royal... Like, Nintendo announced Nintendo 64 games...
So royal fuck up, everybody.
Yeah, but like, Nintendo announced 64 games and Genesis games coming to their premium tier. They've literally been consistent every month. It's only been one game...
Which is crazy.
But it's still been consistent. PlayStation
Correct.
dropped with, let's say 10 PS1 games... 4 of them were interesting, and like 2 PSP games, and since then they've added 2 PSP games that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah, like I can't even defend them because it's just like some of this shit's not hard. Like, okay, PS3 games, I get it. That's a
but what kills me about that, Anthony?
But like the PS1 literally can be emulated on like, a phone from 4 years ago.
But my problem with the PS3 streaming is when this service launched, they have less games streaming on PS3 than they did before.
Oh, nice.
They took games away.
I wasn't following that stuff because I never used that service outside of like once. And it was just to try it out to see what I would be like to play Saints Row 2 on my Vita, and that was it. It's the only time I've ever used it.
They literally shrank the available PS3 games when they launched this service. They have not added any of them back. They have not added any new PS2 games. All the PS2 games that were available at launch with this is the same fucking shit that's been there. Nothing was new. PS1 games they added, like I said, like the 10 games, 2 of them were Worms games.
Yeah, that's a cop-out.
I mean,
And I like Worms, like, it's dumb fun.
But your PlayStation, look at your history. That just as an example, there are 260 available PS1 games on the PS3 store. 260. There are nearly 100 PS2 games on the PS3 store. This is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I knew this shit was gonna happen. Like, look at how they handled a fucking, console, right? The little the little plug-and play PlayStation Mini or whatever
that
it was
thing
called.
was a joke, man.
But I mean, but how is that any different from this?
It's not.
Really?
At least there were more games on that. I mean, there was 30 games on that thing?
I wasn't expecting that response, but yes, I guess you are correct.
Like, if you've paid for PlayStation Premium for 3 months, you've already paid, I don't know what the tiers cost. I just had the thing. I don't know how much the extra tier costs per month. But, like, you've gotten a total of, like, nothing. It's such a softball. PS1 emulation is so easy.
Well, and then the pain in the ass about upgrading this shit.
Oh, it's terrible.
And it's like,
and it's confusing because, think about it, Anthony, you're in the know. You know about video games. You still had to ask me which tier was which.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, first of all, I don't gauge with fucking Sony stuff. I mean, your point's gonna roll into my point. I don't engage with the Sony stuff, and it's not because it's like, fuck Sony. It's just like, I don't play a lot of stuff on there outside of like exclusives or stuff that I've started, like, how do I put this? Series I've started on there where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep going on that console. I turned off PlayStation Plus. I don't play online games enough. So I don't follow that stuff. But yeah, your point is, hey, if it's hard for you to figure out what service is which, for the common person who just wants to play old PlayStation stuff and is being tricked into it, it's not clear enough.
No, it's not at all.
I don't know, from the way they've marketed this, the way like upgrading was a pain in the ass, the lack of stuff they've put onto the service, like, yeah, the whole thing is just kind of poorly handled, which again isn't surprising to me because it's just like, do you remember there was a point where PlayStation Plus just gave you a collection of games? Like, at one point in time, and I feel like people forgot this, it wasn't like, oh, you have to claim it in the month or you just don't get it. It was like, no, when you sign up for PlayStation Plus, there was already like a bunch of games for you to be able to download. It was a brief period of time, but that happened, and they got rid of it.
That's weird because that's essentially what Game Pass is.
Hold on, let me see what it was called.
I don't remember that, but the PlayStation Plus collection was available at the launch of the PS5. I remember that.
Let me see here. It was in the. There was. Oh my god! Give me a second. There was a. It was like a brief period of time, because what they would do, instead of selling you or giving you a bundled game for a PlayStation 3, they would give you PlayStation Plus. And it was like, oh, you have an instant, like a bunch of games just to download. Now, of course, this is being obfuscated by the fact that there's now a PlayStation Plus instant game collection. It's not the same.
It's all so confusing. Like, I don't understand it. Their marketing department is terrible. Like, I don't know. PlayStation Plus Essential, PlayStation Plus Extra, PlayStation Plus Premium. And your premium tier sucks. Just straight up, it's terrible. Honestly, I think they should just scrap the tiers, just make one tier, because Extra's killing it. I mean, that's the thing that I don't want to get lost in this conversation. If you have Extra, you're getting a bunch of cool shit. Like, the premium thing frustrates me because of the lack of PS1 games, but we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Did you also know that the Yakuza games are broken up by tier?
Yes.
What the fuck? Yeah. Like, so Yakuza is all on PlayStation Plus. Little asterisk down at the bottom, if you have premium. because they consider those remasters.
Hey everybody, Game
PS3
Pass.
games.
Game Pass, just you get the thing.
You get all 7 or 8 Yakuza games.
Yeah.
God. Do better, Sony, because your service sucks. I'm just gonna say that. Anyway, I have an email. It's from Antonio again. He says, "Wow." The email's titled N4G Podcast, by the way.
God damn it. I know where this is going. It's Paw Patrol shit. Fuck!
He says, "Wow, an email 3 weeks in a row from me. That's cray-cray. Anyways, do you guys know what I hate? Explicit drawings of anything with fur. I saw Cult of Lamb trending on Twitter, and because I'm curious about the game, I clicked on it and scrolled no more than 5 or 10 seconds before a well-endowed lamb appeared.
I knew where that was going.
I honestly don't know what is with some people's fascination with drawing sexualized pictures of anything in the media spectrum that has fur. This can also be true of any fictional females from video games and animated media, with obviously animals would be more of a head scratcher. Like, I've never looked at an animal character in a cartoon or game and thought to myself, I wonder what this character would look like with huge breasts, or a huge Willie Nelson, or both. Okay, rant over. A huge Willie Nelson.
It's definitely not my scene, but yeah, people can be into what they're into.
I don't kink shame. If that's your jam, that's your jam. I don't get it. It's not for me, but, you know. But yeah, I've definitely seen some very awkward... It was one of the reasons why I won't let my son on Twitter, you know?
Yeah.
You could be searching for... Like, I don't know, you guys don't look at this, but I know, like, Overwatch trends every now and then. Don't ever click on it.
Just avoid trending topics, period, honestly. They, you never know what you're going to stumble on in any given trending topic, so you just avoid the trending topics.
That Overwatch is literally like one of the most searched things on porn sites. It's kind of creepy. Yeah. I don't get it. Remember, there's a hamster in Overwatch, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, so I've been looking it up because I'm like, I knew it existed. It wasn't a huge list, but this is a press release for a classic white PS3 that came with PlayStation Plus rather than a game. In addition to the 18 games in the Instant Game Collection, PlayStation Plus offers members exclusive discounts on games, downloadable content, early access to betas, and blah blah blah, and then your normal stuff. So there was a brief period of time where they would allow you to just access it wasn't like a huge collection by any means, but it was like, yeah, if you buy it and you get PlayStation Plus, you can get these PlayStation games.
Well, they have that on PS5 now too.
They have that on PS5.
I think
now,
it's
but
gone.
What I'm saying is,
I think it ended. I think that Instant Game Collection ended on PS5 recently.
Did it?
I think so. I mean, it's been almost 2 years. But I think it did.
But it's just like, it's that type of stuff where it's like, well, okay, so if I bought this was the third model, by the way, of the PlayStation 3 with the slide top.
Oh, that thing sucks.
But it's like, this is the type of stuff, like, there were these things that they would do, and then they would just kind of get rid of them, and it's like, well, you can't just do that without making it clear. And then they're like, well, Instant Game Collection just meant that every month we would rotate that in. It's like, yeah, but it wasn't always that. Like, you didn't use that verbiage beforehand. And so it's just like, they constantly do this shit. I know it seems weird to go back to the previous conversation, but I was looking it up because I'm like, am I going mad? Like, there was a time where they were promoting PlayStation consoles with that aspect in mind. Like, oh yeah, just be able to download Infamous for free as long as you have PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And it's like, they got rid of that. And they constantly do shit like this where they're like, it's easy, but it's not. It's not at all.
Yeah.
Like, so if I'm trying to sell someone on PlayStation Plus who doesn't have a PlayStation console, And when I've joined, it was like, yeah, you just download the games that they have for offer. It's like, well, that's not available anymore because they've changed it without letting people know, but they're still using the same terms. It's irritating. It's irritating because everybody else makes it really fucking simple. Like even Nintendo. Like Nintendo, it's like you buy the expansion pack, you have the access to this. If you don't, that's fine.
So, speaking of making things simple, you know what one of the biggest fuck yous is about PlayStation Plus? That's the only place you get cloud saves.
Yeah, that was always a thing with them.
No, I know. It always has been. But being in the Xbox ecosystem for so long, not only is it free there, but have you ever, like, booted up a game you haven't booted in a while and it just grabs the save? Like, that's so fucking great.
Well, I mean, Steam does the same thing.
Yeah, Steam is great about that too. PlayStation doesn't do that even if you have it. You have to manually
That's right, you have to manually
save.
go at it. Oh, I forgot about that aspect, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks so bad. I don't know, man. PlayStation Plus is getting way too convoluted, and it's not great.
It's going to collapse in on itself, so I'm hoping that they just... Like, there should only be 2 tiers. Yeah, why is there 3?
They thought they could make some quick money telling people they were going to get classic games because, we all wanted that. And then they've completely botched it. I don't know. All I know is that it seems like Game Pass is kind of looking in a crystal ball of like what gaming's going to be like in the future. And if Sony can't get this on track, they're going to be behind. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's get some tweets and get out of here because I think I finally am getting through those 3 bottles of water. And I'm starting to feel it. David tweets at us and says, so preseason is underway. What is your Raiders win prediction for this year? I'd be surprised if my Bears win 4 games. I'm going to go with 10. I feel comfortable that if you don't change a lot and you just technically get a little better, you should at least match last year's win record. And let's be fair, we have the best receiver in the NFL. I'm just going to throw that out there. Skewed and Reviewed says, are you expecting any big reveals for Gamescom and QuakeCon?
No, I'm expecting delays.
So Gamescom, as far as Xbox is concerned, they've already said that it's going to be another E3 where it's only games within the next 12 months. So I don't expect...
That's fine. Much.
Here's my question. Where's the GoldenEye? We know it's real. Where is it? The 25th anniversary is in like 2 weeks. It's gotta be soon, right? Right?
I don't know. I feel like constantly it's just like, it's coming, and then like, it's not.
I know. 25th, if it doesn't happen on 25th anniversary, I'm kind of...
Yeah, remember all that stuff that should be happening around the anniversary of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, well, that's the whole year. We still got... I think Game Awards will be the last chance I give that game this year, which I know that's late, but...
Yeah, at the end of the year is the last chance I give it this year. Like, thanks, Ken. It's a real...
Well, I mean, that's the last big event.
Taking.
That's the last big event of the year, and let's
That
be
is
fair,
true.
the 30th anniversary is all year. So... I don't know, man. It's really disappointing that we haven't heard anything about Mortal Kombat, anything. Like, not even a collection, you know? I don't know. As far as QuakeCon goes, I just think Quake 2 Remaster is kind of a done deal. I really think that's going to happen. I don't know if you've seen it, but, like, Microsoft's been testing a bunch of classic id games in their preview program on PC. So, like, they had Return to Castle Wolfenstein, bunch of the old Elder Scrolls games, like the originals, Quake 4, and some other stuff. They've been testing those in the preview program. So maybe those all get released. I don't know. Das Wunderbra Kid wants to know, Super Mario Odyssey is the best Mario game, and I'm ready for Odyssey 2. When do you think this will happen?
I don't think we get an Odyssey 2.
I think the next Mario game is announced next year for 2024.
And it won't be Odyssey 2, unfortunately. Out of the 3D Mario games, yeah, that's my favorite.
64 is still my jam.
I mean, it's hard to go back to 64, some of it.
Some of it, yes.
Like, the beginning of that game, a lot of fun. Towards the end of that game, the game can go fuck itself. Like,
it's really hard, yeah.
It's not even that it's really hard, it's just like, how many times do I have to ride Rainbow Ride? Rainbow Ride, yeah. Fucking hell. It's just like, tick-tock clock, climb up a bit of the tower, climb up a little bit further, climb up a little bit further, keep climbing, and you're just like, wow, these stars suck, because they kick you out each time, and you're just like, fuck this. Sunshine's its own beast. I love Sunshine. I like it more than Galaxy, but Galaxy's its own beast too, and it's very different, and that's the reason why I'm going to say, like, I don't think you get an Odyssey 2. They don't really... The only game they followed up on was Galaxy, and Galaxy 2 adds enough content where it's not the same game anymore.
Were you going to say, Wombat?
I was going to say something similar to what Anthony just said.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. 3D Mario's, I know it's blasphemy, but I really think Galaxy's my least favorite of all the 3D Marios.
I like Galaxy. I actually think I like Galaxy better than Sunshine, although I do like Sunshine.
I mean that's the thing. Like, I don't think anybody's wrong in their opinion.
They're all great games.
Any of them. They're all great games. It's just they don't ever just kind of like stay with one idea.
No, they usually come up with something different for the next one.
I think they'll expand on Bowser's Fury for the next game.
Yeah, probably. And like Bowser's Fury plays way differently than even Odyssey. So it's just, I'm down for whatever they have to offer. It's just I just don't think we'll get an Odyssey 2, even though, boy, that formula is really open to just going to more planets or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever they call them. Sorry, the kingdoms. That's an easy thing to do. Just this kingdom, everybody wears big boots. And that's the gimmick of this planet. It's like, alright, sure, fine, whatever.
Also, big shout out to Das Wunderbra Kid for all of his Drew Paw Patrol fan art.
Yeah, that's one's my favorite.
That's a pretty good one. The fact that his face is on the dollar bill.
And then he's got the thumbs up.
Yeah, there's some good ones on there. He also says, life is getting a little hard, bills are going up, cost of food is going up, fuel prices are wild, interest rates are higher than ever. However, this can all be made worry-free with a daily dose of boobies in the mouth. I knew that was coming. God damn. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. Like, I tweeted about it, but like I got my electric bill this month and it was like triple. And I about lost my brain. I really don't know how people can keep this up. How long do you guys think... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just was going, yeah, it's kind of a mess.
Yeah. When I saw that, I about shit my pants. I'm like, this is going to be a struggle for me to pay, and I do well. I can't imagine people that don't do well getting something like that in the mail. Like, it's just... Anyway. How long do you guys think this generation of consoles will last with all the shortages and so on? Do you think the current gen might be stretched out quite a bit, 7 to 8 years?
I don't know what.
I think it'll be probably about as long as the 360 generation, I would guess.
Because of like COVID and manufacturing shit.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah, and just because of the tech itself, I think.
The tech is really good this gen.
Yeah.
So
it's not like we haven't had, so the problem has been shortages, right? This is one of the first generations of consoles I can remember where we haven't had one or both consoles with some major hardware issues.
That's
They're
true.
pretty well put together. There hasn't been, at least not yet, there hasn't been a, Red Ring of Death or, not reading discs or anything like that yet. So
if we go that long, so 360 generation went from 2015 to 2013, so that was 8 years. So by that account, we would not see new consoles until fall of 2028. Holy shit, that sounds crazy, right?
Yeah, but I'm not surprised if that ends up being the case. Like that's the fact. Again, I cannot walk into a store and just buy a console.
Except for a Series S or a Switch right now.
Even those,
correct.
even Switch is not so much of an issue, but yeah, like I cannot go in and even buy a Series S right now.
That's crazy.
They just don't exist, and yeah, it's like you cannot just walk in and buy a console, and that's when you start seeing, like right now, these consoles really still haven't even started. You're still seeing a lot of like crossover games.
Yeah, God of War releasing this year, 2 years into the PS5 life cycle, is on PS4.
Yeah, releasing this year.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
But yeah, it's
there's a mentality too. Like, I don't know if you feel like, I know you don't, Anthony, because you don't have it. But like Ryan, I feel like with my Series X, there isn't a Series X only game. Like that's how my brain interprets it.
There is, but yeah, I know what you're saying because it doesn't.
I don't even think about. I just think about Xbox games.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think about the system that I'm playing them on. And I think the thing that breaks my brain about it even more is the fact that my son has my Xbox One upstairs, and so generally any of the stuff I'm playing on Game Pass, he's playing on Game Pass too. So I think that messes with me even more. Yeah,
like the only game that I can think of that we could not play on a One, like locally, was Flight Simulator. Like,
right.
But you don't play Flight Simulator though.
But I don't personally. But what I'm saying
watch
is, like,
it.
But yeah, it's weird, man. I don't know.
But I just, that's a big. You don't see the generation really start until people have jumped. Like more people have jumped in, and it's like. There isn't enough people in the Series X or PlayStation 5 area where like you see a bunch of people jump over. There's still more PS4 stuff being released than there is PS5.
And also you stop and think about the games you're playing and you think like how much better could they be? If you downloaded that Matrix demo that came out around the time the movie did, you can truly see where this generation will get to. And it's impressive.
No doubt. Like,
you're not going to get there until everybody can just buy one.
Right.
It's crazy. He has a couple more tweets. The next one just says, Drew, you should cover Paw Patrol on your next podcast. God damn it. And then he tweeted this photo, which I'll put in the chat, and said, we should do this again.
God,
man, that's
an old
wow.
Picture.
That is an old picture.
Yeah, no, N4G Radio 8/12/2013. We did the one and only video podcast, which is still out there on YouTube. You can go watch it. It's 6 people on the show.
That was almost 7 years to the day from our first episode. Actually, maybe a couple weeks early.
So think about this.
Wow.
It's closer to our first episode than it is to this episode.
Oh, yeah. Almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, I tell you what, that's a motley crew there.
That is. 2 of them I don't even talk to really anymore. John, I think, is just living his best life out there, and I don't know what's going on with Justin. I texted him a few days ago, and he never replied, so.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
I hope he's doing good. I do.
I hope so too. And Drew's blocking his own face.
Well,
so.
that's Drew. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was holding up his dollar bill with Paw Patrol on it. That's what he was doing. He knew.
Man, that was like 30 pounds and no beer to go for me.
What's funny is, like, I'm pretty sure my hairline is receded even more since that video.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had the poor receding hairline for a while. My son constantly points out, like, at the top.
he draws lines.
No.
Like when you grow.
In the top back of my head, you know, like where all your hair meets in the middle, I've got a balding spot, and he points it out at least once a week. I'm like, thanks. Thanks.
That's just me.
That wouldn't be a bad idea for us to do video again at some point.
I don't even think I have a camera
Speaking
anymore.
of fun.
Truthfully. Can we even still do? I don't even remember how we got that pulled off. Like, I know when we first did it, it broke, and then we had to go back and do it again. I don't remember.
I don't remember how we did that either.
We can do video over Discord. That's not an issue.
Yeah, but how are you going to record it? I can't even record audio from Discord.
Yeah, I'd have to fucking screen capture it, which is a pain in the ass, but I could do it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we could use like Camtasia or something like that to screen capture it.
Unregistered hypercam.
There you go.
No, I would use like the software that people use to stream their desktop for like, streaming and stuff. But yeah,
what's funny is like
we could record a Zoom conversation, right?
You have to pay for
do it on
Zoom,
Zoom
though.
I mean, I guess it depends on whose Zoom login you're using.
Oh shit! You can tell Drew is looking at his picture because he just logged into his phone on Discord. You can see it. So he's like, "What are these messages popping up on my phone? Oh my god, it's a picture of me with a Paw Patrol dollar." Oh, that's funny. All right, one last tweet before we get out of here comes from Perfidy. Is that how you say it? Perfidy? This has been a while since I tweeted at you guys. I just want to say what's up to everyone new and old. And yes, I still listen to you guys every chance I get. Hey, DML Fury, I'm with you. I'm also Mr. Cheap. Drew is frugal as fuck, isn't he?
How far has Captain Google fallen? He's on hard times now.
Oh shit! I forgot about
Captain
Google.
Bing now. He's switched because he can get free money for using Bing. Bing paid him off. Jesus Christ!
So, do you think he does the Bing searches every day? You know.
Oh God, he sits there just searching random things. He's like, I'm not gonna think too hard about this. He's just gonna pull up his phone, which is set to auto search on Bing, and then he just types in and goes, "Here you go." Click, 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 click. Yep, there you go. That's done. I've binged shit. I've just made a whole cent.
That's fucking hilarious, man.
Every minute counts, boys.
Yeah.
I haven't had to pay for Game Pass. Yeah, but you said Game Pass to play Paw Patrol, so what fucking statement does that make?
I know, right? Like, I'm over here, like, busting his ass, like, you should play this, you should play that. He's like, well, I ain't got no time.
Then he's like, oh, it's only 5 minutes, guys. Yeah, but it's 5 minutes every day. And you're paying for a service so you can just play that game so you don't have to pay for the service. Like, it's some weird perpetual energy machine that he's discovered. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god. It's crazy, man. Hey, like Ryan said earlier, though, I'm not going to kink shame, if that's your thing.
Are we implying that's Drew's king? Drew's really into punishments.
He puts on the ball gag and the leather suit, and he sits down to bang, and he's like, "Yeah, baby, it's time to bang." Shit. Now I have that image in my head. Thanks. Oh,
no, that was on you.
I know. I'm thanking myself. Christ, man. Anyway, That's all the tweets. If you want to tweet at us, it's at N4G Podcast. If you'd rather send us one of them electronic mails, you can do that to podcasts at ZTGD.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Anthony's a complacent robot. Ryan is at WombatRP. I am at ZTGD, and you can follow the site at ZTGD Content.
Send Drew all your Paw Patrol fan art at DML Fury.
I thought you were going to go the route of the fur.
Whatever you want to send to at DML Fury, he is more than open to, because if he doesn't listen to this show before
he
everybody
starts
else
getting
does,
flooded in his.
Please, DML Fury. This is many creepy Paw Patrol pictures.
I hope Paw Patrol never trends on Twitter. Because if it does, it's going to be a cesspool. Anyway.
It's already a cesspool.
That's true. That's true. That's all I have for this week. Unless y'all have anything else, any movies or TV shows you wanna talk about before we close this out?
No.
I watched The Black Book, or The Black Phone, sorry. The creepy horror movie that everybody was raving about. It was fine. And I started watching The Orville, because it's now on Disney Plus. All of it.
It's weird.
It's good.
It's just weird that show is on Disney Plus.
They own Fox, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Still weird because they have like a big stake in fucking Hulu, and wow.
It's weird logging into Disney Plus now because they have Deadpool and Logan, and it's weird, man. At least they do on my account. My son's account, they do not.
No, that's smart at least.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's lots of good stuff. Plenty of things to watch and see and play. So enjoy that. I know times are hard, inflation-wise, but hopefully it'll get better. But just enjoy. Otherwise, we'll get out of here. Peace, bitch.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G Podcast.
It's me, Mario.
$0.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
I've always lived in angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon. 8.0.